Hey guys, it's Bob Ferngren, and a beautiful morning here in Central Florida. And I want to kind of follow up what we've been talking about. You know, first I started talking to you about being in action and action leading to sharing your story, but really sharing what you do first and then sharing your story. And you can see that in the prior YouTube video. And so here's what we do. We are in action all the time, right? We're trying to build a business, a volunteer army of people who see what we see. And what I want you to get today is I haven't found a shortcut to this business. The only way that I have figured out how to do this business is by doing it correctly. And guys, I was taught by the icons of our company. I was taught by the people who were taught by Charlie Regis. I listened to them, I took notes, and I did what they did, the Hall of Famers. I did what those people did because they had the success that I wanted to have. And so I want you to have the success that the other successful people are having. And so we know that this business is, of course, about your purpose and goals. And you've got to have a motor big enough that your purpose is more important to you than the couch, more important to you than playing softball, more important to you than any other non-results producing activity. In other words, you've got to love your purpose. You've got to be committed to your purpose enough that you're willing to go do what the unsuccessful people won't do, right? We know that purpose thing, and we know how important that is. Secondly, we know there's a success system here, and the variable in the success system is you, is me. The parts that we control, taking our product compliantly, sharing our story, working from a list, introducing our prospects to our sponsor and others, and of course, non-negotiably being at Advonation, if you've earned it, Leadership School, and Success School. Those 5 things are what I call the non-negotiables of building your business here. But here's what I want to share with you today. All of our activity is meant to get us to the point where we're sitting down with one person at a time. Meaningful meetings is the topic of this particular video. Meaningful meetings where we sit down with one purpose. Remember yesterday, or not yesterday, but remember in the prior video, I shared with you that really we only do 2 things. We help people with their health goals. We help people with their financial goals. So if they've expressed an interest in either one of those, then here's what needs to come out of our mouth. When can we meet? When can we meet? When's a good time to meet? When's a good time to meet? When can we meet? I'm telling you, if you can master saying that, not master advocate, trying to, like, they're interested and all of a sudden you're going to just dump it on them. Don't do that. Simply relax, become a professional. And I always, when I share this with people, I try to help them understand, what is it that professionals do? Professionals have appointments. I've never gotten a physical from my doctor in the mall. I use lawyers for various businesses I'm involved in. I have meetings with them. When I'm looking at new property, I spend time with the person that does real estate for me. We sit down and have a meeting and we strategize what we want to do. So, I want you to be a professional. I don't want you to be this willy-nilly all over the place person that's unattractive. I want you to be a professional in your business, someone that people want to follow and do what you do. So the goal of everything is to set professional appointments. Of course, guys, we know that we don't live near everyone that we're going to be talking to. So we're going to have to do 3-way phone calls. And that's a meeting, and that's a great meeting. By the way, one of my sponsors, Mike Farrow, taught me that he or she who does the most 3-way phone calls wins. Hint, hint. Because a 3-way phone call can be done at any time. If someone's really interested in learning more about income, they better be able to find time at 9:30 after they put the kids to bed, or maybe at lunch. But meaningful meetings move the business forward, where you can get into one person's life at a time, ask some great questions, and then we can position this as a solution, whether it's for the health goals, the financial goals, or both. Now, when you think about it, the most important thing that you're doing at that meeting is building a relationship. And I remember years and years and years ago when Crystal Thurber was telling a story on a training about going to someone's house for a meaningful meeting. She said she was there for a little bit over an hour, and for the first 50 minutes, the word Advocare never came out. And maybe they spent 10, 15 minutes kind of, getting the Advocare thing going. But guess what? That turned into a giant leg of business for Crystal. Why? Because she spent time asking some great questions. Things like how much money a month would make a difference. And listened. Didn't talk, listened. What would you do with that extra income? And then she listened. Then she said, well, when would you like to be earning that by? And listened. And then, why would you even do this? Why would you do a home-based health and wellness business? Those are great questions where we can get into one person's life at a time. Here's an interesting thing about questions too. When you're asking questions, people feel great about you. When you're talking, they don't feel great about you. You might be one of those high attractors with one of those big bubbly personalities, but if it's noise, and they don't get to talk, well, you might be able to get them to join, you might be able to get them to do some things, but don't you want them on the journey with you long term? Of course you do. And the way you do that is you ask great questions, and when you're letting your prospect talk, they feel great about you. So everything we do is to lead to a meeting, ideally a face-to-face meeting, and you can bring in third-party credibility via the phone, a 2-on-1 where you and your sponsor go meet the prospect, or a 3-way phone call. That's what has always worked. The shortcuts, there's some people pulling off some stuff, some shell game stuff around here every now and then. It doesn't last. What lasts is the people who care enough about people to block out time to sit down with them and ask some great questions, and then come alongside those people and really help those people get what they want. We're going to talk more about meetings in other videos yet to come, but I'm trying to lay the groundwork for you to be a true professional, someone that people really want to follow. Will you do me a favor, speaking of following, will you please subscribe to this YouTube so that they can be sent directly to you? If you're a leader, can you get your folks to subscribe to this if you want to? Listen, I'm not requiring you follow me, but what happens to me is I get tons of inbox messages and text messages. Hey Bob, how do I do this? You could help me out. You can also listen to the 8-Minute Call, which is posted in the Road to Ruby. Join that group on Facebook. The Road to Ruby is actually a gigantic Facebook group that is really for everyone around the world of Advocare. Hey, just a quick Facebook and social media training. Please don't post things about products or medical claims, and please don't attempt to sell anything in Facebook groups, even if it's Advocare products. Don't do any of that unprofessional stuff. Really, we're there, especially in the Road to Ruby, to connect, to encourage, to train up, to meet up, to know what's going on. Events and stuff like that are posted there in the Road to Ruby on the Facebook group. This video is always posted there. The 8-Minute Calls there, and so many other leaders around the country are posting and adding their trainings, their videos, etc. to that group. Hey, more meaningful meetings means more people are coming with us and more money.